what happens with Reed? Do you let a player like that slip through? That's really tough.
I wouldn't.
We're going to go to the map veto for you just to see where we're going to play.
And
banning everything.
We've got Coastline out, so it'll be Consulate.
Consulate.
Okay. All right. We get to, so we know where we're going to be playing right now. We'll write it down. Consulate's a really good map for eUnited, I would say, in this situation.
Proof that we don't know ahead of time, by the way.
What?
Of the map ahead of time. Proof that we don't.
Yeah, no, we don't. We don't know. We have to write it down.
Mm-hmm. It's not scripted.
Sometimes I write it down after the match starts, so I don't have to do this.
Yes, it is. It is very bad. It is very bad to write on screen. We should not be writing anything when we are on the camera. This is correct. Thank you for shaming me. You were right.
Well, I shamed myself, Parker. Threw us both under the bus. All right.
Yeah, I like to be shamed.
Who's gonna win? Just who's gonna win this match?
DarkZero apparently 85% to 12% from eUnited and a draw 3%. That is extremely lopsided. What was it? We did the Liquid matchup.
That's one of the most lopsided we've seen this
Liquid
season.
had what, 88%, 87%?
I'll check. What day was that?
No, it's fine. You don't need to. I think it was like 87 or 88%. It was very, very lopsided. Is it going to be this lopsided?
I don't think that community vote is fair.
eUnited just played on Consulate. They played Playday number 2 against TSM. We casted that matchup. eUnited is going to go back to Consulate. I guess we're only ever going to cast them on one map.
So again, I'll say that eUnited, they did lose on Consulate to TSM, but I still think this is the type of map that's going to be comfortable for them, especially considering how much practice they clearly put into that match against TSM. All of the rounds that eUnited won against TSM, which mind you were just 3, all of those rounds were well rehearsed. They clearly had practiced them. So eUnited has put in work on this map, and to me, in my mind, that's what's going to give them a good spot. However, the counter-argument to that conversation is that DarkZero's strength lies in understanding their opponent and counterplaying them. So the fact that DZ has a very recent VOD to work off of for eUnited on this map means that DZ will very likely have a strong position going into this, and will probably understand how eUnited plays it.
The very first bans are going to come out from eUnited. They will ban Capitao and Valkyrie, and then DarkZero showing their strats that they love to do in their research as they try to counter-strat their opposing team will ban the Gridlock. Gridlock, of course, coming in very handy in that eUnited TSM matchup in Playday number 2, which, if you recall, if you didn't watch, you'll recall this, you might remember this. eUnited went 3 for 3 on their attack, with TSM taking rounds 3, 5, and 6. eUnited started off well. They took the first 2 rounds. Every single round that eUnited won, they got the very first opening pick. They snowballed from there. They won on Console, Office, Garage, and Garage. But TSM on attack, not only was TSM wins 6 rounds in a row in order to secure the victory, but in doing so, TSM got all but one of the opening picks. They got a flawless round. They got the fusion down 3 times as well. That is pretty dominating. Very first round, we're going to see eUnited go downstairs to the garage. DarkZero had the mint, had mint on the blitz, but obviously that was just a bait.
Yeah,
it's the nomad zone.
You got to think about mint being on blitz. That's scary stuff. I'm sorry. What were we going to say, Parker?
No, that was it. I was going to agree with you that the mint on shields often synonymous.
Yeah, I would say so. He even had an ace on blitz a while back. How long ago was that?
It was on Clubhouse. You casted it. I think it was last season.
Yeah, it was last season.
The seasons all tend to blur together because we do like the half seasons. So it's like, oh, it was like a half season ago. Technically same season, but
you know, and in the past we had a much slower pace for seasons, whereas we have 2 play days per region now. It used to be 1 play day. Or sorry. 2 play days per region per week is what I meant to say.
Yeah, we have accelerated. This is like, we used to do super weeks from time to time.
And this format we're using now.
Permanent super week.
Yeah, this format we're using right now is permanent super week. So it's a little bit different, and that makes it all kind of just mold together sometimes. But yeah, in the past, Mint had gotten an ace on blitz, and it was a pretty incredible one. And he is, I think that's one of those moments that solidifies you as a player who's capable of doing something like playing blitz well. And so you bring it in the lead-in, scare your enemy, make them think about it. Now, DZ focusing on clearing out the top floor. Hyper is already in the admin office. They're going to have to confront a Mozzie. That's Grixer inside of meeting. The wall is already opened up in the bottom floor, so DZ is wasting no time whatsoever. They have not only cleared out upstairs, but also, well, not fully, I guess. They're working on clearing out upstairs, but they've also opened up the garage. So lots of progress being made here all at once from DarkZero. Looks like that is actually top floor cleared out, as Grixer appears to have dropped through the meeting, dropped down to try and escape to safety. Drone pests will be a delaying factor still in this round, but all of the players upstairs are gone. Eclipse, who had been on CEO Repel, is felled by Yeti, who went for a run out from Piano and somehow has managed to make it into the main lobby. Actually, even more, he's made it back to the site. Amazing that we didn't see a punish there onto Yeti.
Yeah, that's really remarkable. He does get taken, what, for 70 HP, give or take. As you can see, he's going to be flashing as the castle up top. That's rough. His utility is going to go down. Castle, of course, being an operator that after you get those castle barricades down, barring an impact trick, if you need it, you're not really going to be doing all that much. He still had some pocket impacts, as you can see. Second pick for eUnited is going to come out, and now it's a 5v3 with a minute to go. So not only do they get the very first pick, but then they grab the second as well. Say goodbye to Hot and Cold. That's the sole hard breacher that you're going to see in the hands of DarkZero. Oh, say goodbye to Reed, though. Hyper will read that one, showing off some of the new Road to SI cosmetics, and Sky's, of course, with the Road to SI skin as well on his gun.
That's actually really, really good. I haven't seen that yet.
They're very clean. The back of the Mozzie's shown, and that's easy fodder for Skies, taking Grixer out. So the two players on eUnited that are both positive heading into this matchup, they're going to be removed. 30 seconds left. You're going to have to get a bigger tempo going on. Hyper inside a Piano. He doesn't have any breaching charges. He just has the Claymores. That is not ideal for him. Diffuser had been relinquished just by the opening of the garage. Somebody on DZ is going to have to pick that up, but it looks like it's Mint with the ARX in hand. Not a big magazine for him to work with. Down goes Hyper to call out Shotgun Blast. Skies on blue stairs. Mint will refrag. Mint will have to go for the defuse, but it'll be at 1v2 in that case. You better hope that Skies is able to do what he can. He sees the dagger and he's down Yeti. 2 kills for Skies at the very final second, as that was a bit of an unpredictable end. Really well played from Skies there. And DZ will take the round.
Incredible angle play from Skies, and what coverage. His perfect timing and positioning and hitting all those shots is what allowed DZ to win that. Honestly, it looked like eUnited was going to be able to make it happen. The way that they were punishing DarkZero for clearing out upstairs, for having someone on Repel to try and pinch the roamers upstairs, and just for opening up the garage, it seemed eUnited was in a great spot. But no. A couple key moments there. One of the most important things is the fact that Hyper managed to kill, I believe it was the Maestro in Connector upstairs, just holding from the main lobby through the drop down. That moment right there is key in the round, because if Hyper had not gotten that kill, even if he spots some sprays at him and misses, in that situation, DarkZero now knows there's someone upstairs, which is going to make them hesitate attacking downstairs. And with the little time that was left in the round, at the end, you can tell that that would actually change the outcome. So the fact that the Maestro died upstairs without getting anything done, despite having retaken that position after it was already cleared by DZ, that is key to the outcome of the round. The next big thing, of course, is going to be Skies coming in clutch when he pushed into the site. But the reason Skies was allowed to clutch that was the Thermite, who had killed the player at Pipes. There was a shotgun SAS player holding on Pipes who had managed to kill Hyper on yellow stairs earlier in the round. And that player died to the attacker who was outside the garage, the Thermite. If that had not happened, then Skies would not have been able to play as quickly as he had at the end of the round. And again, another moment that could have seen us have a different outcome in the round. So really close call there for DZ, but they managed it anyway.
Similar lineup that we see, but with some role changes coming in for eUnited. They're going to have lots of stall potential with the Mozzie and the Castle, so you'll have to, as an attacking squad, endeavor to pick apart those pests and blow open some castle barricades. Of course, Buck is not the ideal operator to take out castle barricades, barring a frag grenade. That's usually what you're going to want to see from Sledge. I think this is another one of those cosmetics. It's the country cosmetics, I guess you could call them.
Yeah, the national ones?
Yeah, I think they're quite nice as well.
Yeah, they are. I mean, just in general, they all look pretty good. It's the most I think that they've ever done aesthetics-wise for an invitational, from what we can see so far. If I'm doing, yeah, I think back about it, which is pretty crazy. It's a lot. Now, this is a really good angle from Hyper, and he'll see the head and land the shot. The patience comes through there, and DZ off to a good start because of that.
Yeah, Grixer had no shot.
Yeah, no shot, no chance. When you know exactly where the enemy can peek, and you wait expecting them to, all you need is patience in that case, and like I said, Hyper had plenty of that.
That's entirely second floor control for DZ as well. There's nobody else up there that you can see, or at least we can see from eUnited. Some information for Yeti, though, as he manages to get a drone. So, valuable intel from DarkZero has been taken away from them, a bit of negligence. Eclipse just skirting around that C4 that gets tossed in the yellow stairs. Sky's up top. He's going to begin to put pressure on the main lobby, as he's going to sit above it. We apologize. Apparently Forrest is still playing upstairs. He's an admin. Down goes Eclipse. Reed with 2 big kills. And another will swing on to Sky's Yeti. That is not a fight that Sky's usually loses. Hot and Cold refrags onto Reed, playing over by the closet. So it's just Hot and Cold and Mint left with the diffuser in the hands of Hot and Cold.
Not a great position here for Hotton, and he knows it. Can be flanked from the top floor at any moment. He's got to work his way down, and that's past Piano, which hasn't been cleared out from DZ. Another thing that Hotton knows. He's called for Nint to drone him in, and that's good teamwork there from DZ. They'll spot the player in the bathroom. Hotton now knows what he's got to work with. He doesn't have to worry about Piano. He does have to worry about crossing there, though. And oh, the Tracers will give away the position of, I believe, Callout, who is just at the top of Spiral. But it's a call for a drop here from the Roamers because they don't need to spend any more time upstairs. They need to hold out the site. The push over towards Spiral will net a kill for Mint. That is huge. A 2 versus 2 now, but there's only 10 seconds left. The missed shots for Mint might cost them in the end here, and that's it. Yeti and Forrest clean up. eUnited get their first round.
Very well done, even though DZ got that opening pick upstairs onto Grixer. And then 3 from eUnited to answer back immediately, especially Reed. Hard to overstate the significance that Reed had playing over by the hatch. You thought that you could drop to safety, maybe inside a Piano. No, the call was wrong from DarkZero if that was the case. And once again, eUnited, using that stall strategy that you see that comes from a Mozzie and a Castle. Castle, of course, is an excellent utility soak operator. What do we mean when we say utility soak? It means that you're an operator who's designed to eat up as much of the gadgetry, whether it be your main gadget, your secondary gadget in terms of frag grenades, breaching charges, etc. Could even be flash grenades. And, you know, just kill a lot of time. That's it. That will set up your defense in a way that when the anchors get pushed, there's very minimal that the attackers have at their disposal outside of just simply out-fragging you. In this particular instance, well, I mean, you had a utility soak, but it was Reed who killed 2 people and took down some very valuable pieces of utility. And then you had Yeti as well, winning the fight against Skies, which those are both exceptional aimers. They don't really miss their shots, but Skies typically tends to win those. Yeti was just better.
So, eUnited giving DZ a really close round and then winning their own close round. Right now, it's looking like we've got a pretty tight competition, and that is going to be exciting, hopefully, for the rest of these rounds. Those last rounds, again, could have gone either way. We'll go to the top floor for the very first time. It's been bottom floor, middle floor, top now in that order, which is kind of the opposite of some teams. If you look far enough back, that was the dead opposite of almost everybody. But things change, and preference has become actually a really big determining factor on what site you like to select as a team. Also, sometimes, you know, teams like to get their edge in, whether it be tellers or middle floor. They like to try and find a place that they're comfortable that other people are not, and practice that. Because the truth is that most sites on most maps can be defended. Whether or not they're comfortable to defend, you know, that's beside the point at this level of competition, because you can practice it and you can make it something you're capable of doing. Now, on Consulate, we've never really had problems with that. I think most sites are pretty much comfortable for everyone, except for tellers, which is why you see some teams go there. Now, DZ's setting up for Repel on CEO. That air jab will go onto the garage panel to prevent someone from running out there. Could impact trick that and run out and kill the players on CEO Repel. There's a lot of places you can kill players on CEO Repel from as a defender if you're trying to run out. That is a well-timed nade from Skies. Beautifully placed. He did it in a way that he wasn't even exposed to the skylight too, and that is just impressive. Love to see that from Skies, but he will expose himself right after and be downed. Luckily for Skies, he'll be saved by one of his teammates because he's on the roof. But still, HP lost.
Yeah, not really a fight that he necessarily needed to take and put himself in harm's way when you've done what you needed to do, which was flush out yellow stairs. So, oh boy. I like that this is going to be a CO take. You know, we see a lot of teams take from admin. Not the case here at all, and eUnited, I don't know if they were prepared for it or not. I don't know if they were anticipating an admin take, but they have given up so much and gained nothing. They get hot and cold. Scrixer's there, but he gets refragged by Mint immediately, and DarkZero will now take full control of yellow. Callout has the opportunity to rotate from meeting to connector, but all he has at his disposal is an SMG-11. He's going to completely whiff on where he's going to toss out the toxic canister, miss as well on an opportunity to gun down a member of DarkZero inside a bathroom, and he doesn't look towards the CO windows. There's Mint. Only one kill for eUnited that round. Pretty dominating performance from DarkZero, and console office is obviously not the most comfortable defense for EU.
That has to be the most thorough top floor take I've ever seen. There are a lot of different tools that you can use. And by top floor, I mean specifically for the CEO side. There are a lot of different tools that you could use to try and dislodge players from anchor positions that are going to slow down a CEO take in dealing with yellow stairs, bathroom, the site itself, and just cutting off the rotations on the long angles. There's a lot of different ways that can be done, and often we see every single thing that DZ just did there has been employed by another team in the past. But there are a couple things to note about that. They used more of those unique tools that are going to give you an advantage in those kinds of engagements, and they used them in a really coordinated way. There's one thing that I want to point out too, specifically, besides just like the Ash charge from below underneath bathroom, besides the way that they were repelling on those angles to try and cut off in unison, it's the nade from Skies. So Skies naded specifically on top of a ventilation unit. And what that meant was he was not exposed to the skylight. He couldn't be shot. Most people will just get up close to the skylight and nade from there. But it meant one other thing, and this is also key. The nade sound was probably not sent to the Jaeger. He probably didn't know about the nade until he saw the notification on his HUD. And that is crucial, because when you hear a nade pin being pulled from the skylight, which you will hear pretty easily if you're playing top yellow, you run away, or you position closer to an ADS. In that case, there wasn't time for the Jaeger to run away because of the way Skies was nading that. So I'd really like to see that. That's awesome. I imagine any team that's going to watch this is probably going to nade Skylight exclusively like that now. But who knows? Just good stuff from DZ overall. Aside from that, there were a lot of other prongs to the attack, but it was just, in general, well coordinated.
Old Castle, the utility soak yet again.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
this is the same lineup that we see from EU time before.
Maybe. I did not track it, so it's possible.
Could be. It's garage defense yet again.
I think so.
Consulate is very much a map. Yeah, it is.
No, it is, because yeah.
Consulate is very much a map where you have to clear from the above and then go clear from the above and go from there. Reed looks like he went for a run out, actually, as a maestro on yellow door and takes down Eclipse.
Yeah, that's what he did.
Fortunate for DarkZero, Eclipse has not been as impactful as I think they need, with him being involved in the opening kills and deaths on the wrong side of that equation a couple times now.
He's having a bad match right now.
Not the greatest.
We'll see if he picks that up. He has been playing on Ash. As long as he uses his utility, at least. What utility Ash has.
Killing potential.
Well, I mean, open to Castle Barricade upstairs. Except, like I said, the utility that Ash has.
Yeah. Which is actually very effective. Even clearing out one barbed wire can really make way for a later push, right? So
it means Hyper can use his lifeline for other things.
That is correct. He has one of those left, including that concussion, too. Yet again, more Castle Barricades found, this time on the first floor, and the Castle of Yeti is essentially barricaded inside of the bathroom. You can tell that there's not a lot of drones left for DarkZero.
Yeah. Oh, no. We might have a rehost. We'll see what happens after the moonwalking is done. Oh, okay. All right.
Oh.
Looks like we're back in it.
Servers have been having a...
I think that was Spectator. Our connection to the server, not them, because they're still playing like normal. But they would be talking about it right now.
Yeah, they definitely would have been saying something. So
yeah,
you can keep mind of the icons on the top right. So
yeah, I think it's definitely our connection to the server.
Yeah. Well, we were ready to come back if required. Skies will smash up the entire floor of Piano, which happens to be the roof above much of the site. Trying to burn the ADSs is whole hot and cold. Tossing it on in. The sledge does not work as intended, and Skies will have to go back into the breaking. Grixer's waiting to push out of those double doors. Will anybody be able to do anything? There's Yeti.
Oh,
Two
wow.
for Yeti, and he's going to drop. Hot and Cold manages to get the diffuser down, but this is going to be a 2v4 post plant. This is definitely winnable for DarkZero, but they're going to have to not give anything up. There's one kill for Houghton. He sees yet another, but this is a tough shot to make as he goes on his belly and will dance as far back from the diffuser as possible. Is there an opportunity to long arm this? Yes, there is. Reed tries to go for the defuse, can't do it. He has to peel off, and he'll manage to take out Hot and Cold.
It's huge.
This is Mint now. In a 1v3, if they start to defuse, Mint will have to rotate all the way over. He sees the smoke, doesn't win it. This is an easy round now for eUnited. They play that perfectly. 2 missed opportunities for DarkZero in order to get the kills they need. And eUnited, despite being in a post plant on a very challenging site to retake, they do so, and they do so quite admirably.
One of the marks of a good team is being capable of retaking on the bottom floor in a post plant on Consulate. That is really impressive for eUnited, I gotta say. And that exact round is something that you can take away and put into your portfolio later. One thing that I want to highlight is, of course, Yeti's performance upstairs. That is the castle, I believe it was, inside of Bathroom. And Yeti managed to get 2 kills before dying up there. And then rejoining the rest of his team down in the site. If those 2 kills had not come in for Yeti, then DZ would have won that round. They would have had top 4 control still, and it would have been a pretty easy post plant as you have 3 angles to cover from: yellow stairs, top, and outside the garage in that scenario. So even if Yeti had gotten 1 and then died to the second, then eUnited probably still wouldn't have been able to win that. But he got both of the DZ players upstairs. And there was no coverage from upstairs anymore. eUnited knows what they need to confront. They confront it head on. There's 2 players outside. Those players die. There you go. Diffuser disabled. Well done to eUnited. Well done to Yeti. And also, we didn't get to see it, but you know that shot from Reed on the thermite outside must have been a killer shot. So well done to Reed as well. eUnited keeping in lockstep with DarkZero, 2-2 through this match. They'll go to the middle floor for the next round. We'll see what they can do here. You just noticed advertisement for the, I think it's a battle pass, right?
Yeah, there's a battle pass now with optional cosmetics.
Yeah.
And once again, I saw people complaining about the fact that they get free content because there's a free track to it, and then there's a premium track to it as well, where you pay and you get access to additional cosmetics.
Yeah.
The audacity of expecting to pay for things that are new.
Yeah, it's almost as if they could have just released the skins and only charged people, but instead they decided to do free stuff and stuff you can pay for if you want.
The audacity of giving things away for free.
Yeah.
How dare they?
Ubisoft, you should be ashamed.
How dare you give away free things?
You just can't do that.
Everything should be, you should pay for it.
It's 2020, you gotta pay for stuff.
Yeah, it's like when I buy a pair of Nike sneakers, I assume that every other pair of Nike sneakers that comes out after those, I get for free, or at least heavily discounted. Because I bought the first one, I might as well.
Oh, that's a foot, Hodden! That's a foot! Shoot the foot! He saw the prone Forrest right in front of the window, but he didn't shoot him. Now he's dead! A huge mistake. Forrest capitalized on an opportunity, but he really shouldn't have been given one.
That's brutal luck. And
oh no!
Get even worse for Hyper as he cannot track the C4 that will blow him up in Forest. With 2 opening picks now for eUnited, and he's only cost himself about 40 HP in the process. That is very worthwhile, and DarkZero, that's not the start that you want to have.
No, that's gonna... 2 rounds in a row for eUnited, which would be, by the way, the first time that we've seen 2 in a row if United does win this. But that's not guaranteed, especially after Eclipse gets, I believe, his first kill in this match. So, things are changing here. Nope, second kill. I stand corrected. So, DarkZero putting in some work. They can bring this back. Clips has shown up. He's ready to play. He's ready to take out some of these United players. And we know when Eclipse really, really wakes up, he is one of those players that is hard to stop. So, maybe this will be his round. You got Mint outside front door. He's got the diffuser in hand, ready to plant when it's a possibility. It won't be, in all likelihood, though, as there's still top 4 control for the attack, or for rather the defenders. You can see that Mint has realized this, and he's repelling up. 4 is still holding onto yellow stairs. This will be crucial in the outcome of the round, as Eclipse might be checking it. He is indeed.
So close to seeing the Ash as Eclipse now turns his back. Forrest can capitalize off of this.
And Eclipse actually has worked past the United coverage line. He might be able to do some work here from Spiral. But he'll peek into yellow and win the fight against Forrest, shutting Forrest down.
This is a lobby take, but Yeti is there waiting inside a piano. He has the yellow stairs line of sight that is needed, and now the remaining members of DarkZero working together, coming over from Visa. You still got Grixter above as well. Yeti not able to land the shots. There you go, takes out Skies. Mint gets one, but it's going to be all for naught. Mint's going to have to drop. He's got 5 seconds. He's planting the diffuser, actually. It looked like he was going to drop. No, that was Yeti who drops. And Reed should be able to collect this. Yep, diffuser down. So he gets the kill. Why not get some more points, Reed? That diffuser's yours.
Congratulations.
Just diffuse, Reed. There you go. Dance party from Yeti, eUnited with the lead. First lead of the game.
At this point, it looks like eUnited is going to have to say goodnight to actually give DarkZero a chance at winning this one. He's got 2 rounds in a row for eUnited, and things are looking pretty good for them, to be honest. That last round, a big part of it, of course, is Forrest, but it was an oversight from Houghton, who had seen Forrest's foot and could have capitalized upon that, but instead allowed Forrest to get 2 kills. That could have been a DZ round so easily. I'm kidding, of course, by the way, about my previous joke. Really, this is a close match. DZ almost managed to bring that back into their favor. They could have had it in their favor in the first place. This is anyone's match still. It's going to be very close, I think, throughout. And that is the first time we've actually seen a team get 2 rounds in a row. That was eUnited winning the bottom floor, then the middle floor right after. Now, it will be the last defense for eUnited. They're going to go to the top floor. Gotta say, the attack onto top floor was the most convincing from DZ that we saw. Very thorough. Had a lot of things going for them. So, if that continues, this should be a pretty solid half of a 3-3, and we'll go into the second with no determined winner yet.
I think eUnited has ran a Mozzie every single round, and a couple rounds they ran a Mute too. I think this actually is the second time that we've seen a Mute from eUnited, if memory serves me correctly here now. The big part of why DarkZero, for those that at home might be wondering, why does DZ not winning their fights? Why are they continuously going down early? A big part of why DarkZero is losing these engagements has to go to the fact that the Mozzie combo that can be done with Mute or just simply on its own, it denies you either a drone in, which can then be used against you, or it denies you a laneway into usual droning. A lot of teams have started using the Mute Mozzie combo. In fact, have been using it for the last season or two. Have been using this Mute Mozzie combo to specifically deny intel and support their offsite players. So a team like DarkZero, who is usually exceptional at communicating, very thorough, and tends to work really strong as a team, they're being denied one of their greatest advantages because of the fact that eUnited is running this setup designed specifically to support the offsite play of eUnited. And when you've got people like Yeti roaming, when you got people like Grixer roaming, they're capable of doing magical things when they're supported. This matchup so far has been exactly that. Now, mind you, against TSM, eUnited looked limp. They lost, what, 4 rounds in a row, 3 rounds in a row to TSM when eUnited was on defense, so already they've been doing better than their previous matchup here on Consulate, though maybe just TSM and DarkZero are different teams and they play a different style. This is going to be the last go at it for eUnited, so things could possibly change. But so far, I like what I've seen out of eUnited. They've definitely been able to bounce back after that slightly embarrassing second half against TSM.
Yeah. And who knows, maybe the second half here is going to be a little bit different for DZ as well. As these rounds have been very close, maybe DZ switches over to defense and then suddenly it's an absolute stomp. Anything could happen. We won't know until we get there. It's all speculation at this point.
That's what I was talking about right there. You see the little pest identifier? That means that, once again, what should be easy for you to drone is going to be withheld. And that information might end up hurting DarkZero in the long run because they don't necessarily know if they've got clearance to go on into office or projector or meeting or whatever you want to call it. Yeti guns down Sky, so opening pick goes to eUnited with a minute left.
DZ now need to work past that. They need to get a little bit of a bounce back. They'll manage to eliminate one of the Evil Eyes. That's one inside of A. And they will get Forrest, so that's a good entry. One of the ACOGs that was holding a long angle eliminated. Call out still inside a meeting who can hold out against the push, which has not come out just yet from Hyper and DZ as a whole. They're just waiting for a better opportunity. They've still got enough time to kill here, I'd say, as an attacking team. But oh, as they lose mid downstairs, it looks like eUnited's going to be in the driver's seat for this one, especially as we hit the last 30 seconds.
Yeti's concussed on the top of Spiral, or at least midway up. Somebody from DarkZero tries to push him. Well, Yeti's been on one today, so I don't know if you'd be able to just simply outduel him. There's one for Grixer as well. United's only lost Forrest as Yeti now re-engages. He comes back up, loses the fight to Hyper. Hyper takes quite a bit of damage in the process. Hot and Cold will have to go for a jump on in. He does so. He wins the fight against Callout. And now DarkZero's winning their gunfights at all the right time, but they've got the X factor. It's Reed. He falls to Hyper. Grixer on literally 1 HP. Finds one. Can't do enough damage. If he gets peeked, he's toast. He manages to get hot and cold as he shoots him in the back. Ping's coming out. Zofia heads for spiral stairs. Grixer in hot pursuit. But that diffuser is going to be in the line of sight of Zofia. Trying to provoke her. Grixer will go for the defuse. Hyper down below. Oh, this is going to be it if Hyper can land it. But they're getting the calls. He's not back on it. Just wait. Patience from Hyper, and this is very challenging for Grixer because he will die to the damage that you take when that impact goes off. He's going to have to defuse. He doesn't have a ton of time left. I think he knows that. Too much hesitation here from Grixer. He'll concede the round. It'll be 3-3 for DarkZero, who managed to survive the first half after it looked like eUnited was warming up, and they'll switch sides.
I'm actually kind of surprised by that because he had the shotgun, and you can see it right now. He could have opened up the drop down to deny the lifelining from below.
He didn't know where he was, though.
Yeah, okay, fair. Yeah, but he must have. He knows that he went to spiral stairs. So Grixer knows that he went underneath. Now, you could guess a few things from that. You can guess, number one, he stays on spiral stairs. Number two, he comes up Visa stairs. Or number three, he goes out to repel, I guess. Number four, the last real possibility and he's not going to go and repel, by the way. That's not going to happen. So let's just scratch that off. Number three, he goes underneath and he tries to lifeline you from below or shoot the diffuser from below. Either way, it doesn't really matter. Anyone can shoot you from the diffuser below. It's really easy to tell when you're on it, especially when we know, because of the marks, that the attack had a drone on the diffuser, which could have called for the Zofia at any time. So Hyper was in a pretty much an unlosable situation there unless something changes. So shifting that paradigm, you could open up the drop down with your shotgun. I don't know. It's hindsight, of course. And you could even see at the end he realized it. At the end, he's like, oh, I could have... Oh, whoops, drop down. But it doesn't matter. It's 3-3 now. And nice try there for Grixer. Better recovery from DZ, though. That's what I really want to highlight. I think that's the most important thing. eUnited was in the driver's seat for that round. They had a definitive lead, a strong advantage. And then DZ started to, as you said, when well put, they started to get the kills when they really mattered. So we see 3-3 for the first half because of that recovery.
The one thing I will say about DarkZero is that adversity to them is just a word. It's nothing else outside of that. I mean, we saw that against Reciprocity, where DZ was basically done for, and we thought that Rec very much had the match in hand, and then DarkZero ended up winning 3 rounds in a row, which I didn't expect. I don't think you expected either. So when the going gets tough, DarkZero is able to do incredible things, especially just based off of gun skill alone. We made mention of how effective the Mozzie was for eUnited. For DarkZero, it's going to be the Mute, as Eclipse is going to be playing that operator to deny information and keep the drones at bay. However, the best medicine that you can have against a Mute Jammer is that EMP. And that'll be Reed, of course, running Thatcher, which is a very common operator. He basically only plays Maestro and Thatcher, that we see at least.
This is a good control from eUnited. I gotta say, the clear from eUnited has been much faster, but also less thorough, as they haven't actually found the roamer on the top floor. So they kind of just skipped past it. Now, that could work for eUnited since they're so aggressively taking control of the site, but it also could mean that that player on DZ above on the top floor ends up flanking and devastating eUnited. That's Hyper. They've also got a player, I believe, in the bathroom. There's so much flank potential here for DarkZero. Yeah, so you've got Eclipse in the bathroom, Hyper above, and nobody's done any clearing here for eUnited, so now they have to worry about it the whole round. I mean, skipping those steps is not advised necessarily. You can get away with it, but you generally shouldn't put yourself in a position where you have to count on that. Eclipse maybe looking for the fight here against the Buck. Buck doesn't seem to know there's anyone in the bathroom. There was a long angle being played there, but Buck stepped in front. So it will be a trade here. Eclipse is downed. He will likely be finished off in a moment. I think it was Grixer who was playing a long angle, expecting someone to peek out of bathroom. Oh no, is Eclipse gonna get away? He might just. The garage is opened up, so that is gonna be a pretty easy kill though for call out, so. No escape there for Eclipse. Lots of time wasted though, gotta say that. And I think Hyper's still on a roam.
Yeah, I would say very much well worth it. Hyper's just waiting very patiently over by the Visa stairs, and if this has not been droned out from eUnited, whether they've just simply lost drones to Mute Jammers or if they're just not looking there, because not all teams will keep a persistent watch of every part of this map, especially over towards Visa. Because if you're not taking from Visa, you're going to have most of your troops assembled over by Yellow Stairs, maybe one Spiral, but the rest will be up in Piano to go down Yellow Stairs or the actual breach. So eUnited seem to understand that there might be somebody coming from that direction. As there's a Nomad on the board, there's very easy flank watch, and all the air jabs have been placed by Grixer. Depending on where they are, it might be more of a challenge for DarkZero to be able to make it back in towards the site. Hatch control from above is very firmly in eUnited's control, but DZ just snaps their fingers and everyone dies! How do you lose that fight, Grixer? Hot and cold snaps as the Mira down below the hatch, and 4 unanswered kills from DarkZero will propel them to take the round, and they will once again regain the lead. Now 4 rounds to eUnited's 3.
We theorized that we might see DarkZero come into the second half and be absolutely dominant on defense, and if that round is anything to go by, then that's certainly going to be the case, because that was pretty one-sided. There are a couple things to note there, of course. eUnited did not clear out the roamers, whether it be the player in bathroom or the player above. They then had to struggle with those roamers, and struggle they did, and it really didn't look good for eUnited when that happened. And then when the site pressure was coming on, it wasn't in any of the crucial spots. So none of the DZ anchors down in the site really felt too pressured. The Mira window was assisting quite heavily. The utility was still abundant for DZ. And then just a series of engagements going the way of DarkZero as eUnited attempted to gain some semblance of control in the bomb site. A pretty lackluster attack from eUnited. And we'll go to the top floor.
Let's look at the lineup that we see here from DarkZero. How many, as every single round, we've seen either a Mute or a Mozzie being used on Consulate so far. I mean, I haven't been keeping exact track of that, but I'm pretty certain we've seen a Mozzie and a Mute every single round. One or the other.
Remember, we have had a couple matches in Consulate where Mute gets banned, remember?
Yeah, that's true.
Because people realize how potent that Mute Mozzie combo is. And then we have ones where Nomad gets banned, because it's the same thing with the Gridlock Nomad combo.
One of the things that I think separates people who want to be competitors in Rainbow Six and the lower ranks of the people who play this game either competitively or more casually, they don't seem to understand the value that you have with your drones. How many times, if you ever, watch people who are in silver, gold, etc. I know you don't tend to toil in those lower ranks. They're beneath someone like you. But
no, but I don't have a lot of experience.
But when you're down, let me tell you, I got a lot of experience with silvers and golds, Michael. No.
I've been there like once.
It's a silly place. Let's not go back. No.
All right.
How many times when you're playing at this low level do you see people literally just drive their drones into the site, get a couple points, and then it gets shot?
In the prep phase?
In the prep phase.
Yeah.
And if you are doing that right now,
stop.
Knock it off. Yeah, knock it off. Stop doing that. You are almost always better served by driving your drone to where you are spawning and then picking it up and now having 2 drones at your disposal. Because when there is a Mute or a Mozzie on the board, or even both, you know that you're likely going to have a couple drones not be able to do what they need to do. Because of this, you've only got 10 drones, period. If you're losing a couple in the prep phase, or if you're losing a couple to somebody shooting them, etc., you're basically going in blind. The defenders have the advantage of knowing the layout of the map. You need to go in and find where they are.
That's a well-timed EMP nade combination from eUnited. You saw there, Hyper thought he was safe by his ADS, but because of the coordination on eUnited, they managed to deal with that ADS juggling Jaeger. So well done to them. We're seeing a lot of well-placed nades at the top of yellow from both of these teams. And yeah, I agree with you, Parker. There's a lot to be said about using your drones better.
I just wanted to make a comment about that because when you play up against a Mute Mozzie combo, it's very easy for the attackers, or very easy for the defenders to be able to bully you because you as an attacker end up being so starved for information. And we saw this on a number of rounds when it was either just a Mute or just a Mozzie from eUnited. DarkZero was going in blind to a lot of engagements, either because they didn't have drones or they lost them to the Mute Mozzie.
Something to be noted as well about droning is that there's something called the 5-second rule. If you don't clear out what you droned out 5 seconds after droning it, then the information's dead. All right, we're going to focus on this round as we're hitting the last 45 seconds. eUnited have full control of CEO and connector, and they're going to use that to go for a plant. The plant is off, though. They didn't stick it, interestingly, but doesn't really matter because all that's left on DZ is Houghton. We do have Callout downed. I believe he was the planter, and that's a kill for Houghton on the repelling player for Connector. This is actually possibly winnable, but Forrest is going to swing wide and say, nope, no chance. eUnited will take their first attack. And we go back to an even round count.
Yeah, these two teams are just back and forth and back and forth, and this has been DarkZero's story the entire season. You made mention of this before we even went in. DarkZero has needed every single round in their 3 play days so far, and we are very much looking like that will be the case. Even if either DarkZero or eUnited win every single remaining round without dropping one, it's 7 rounds to secure a victory. We will need 11 of the 12 rounds. So we are going to go almost the full distance no matter what happens. If we end up at a 5-5 after the next 2 rounds, as we have seen from the seesaw between these two teams, then once again, DarkZero is going to need all 12 rounds. If you want to be the dominant team in North America, you cannot be getting pushed to the limit by teams that are, in your opinion, worse teams than you. You need to be dominating. You need to, in order to be the undisputed best team in your region, which DarkZero is not. They're in second place. But if you want to get back to that level of dominance that DarkZero has seen in previous seasons,
last season,
you need to be better than 7-5s every step of the way.
Yeah, I think the only... We could do a little bit of devil's advocacy here, and we could say, well, at least they're getting the points. But that falls flat when you see matches like the, I believe it was the Reciprocity one that DZ had, last week, January 8th. They played against Reciprocity, and it was a draw. And again, when we mentioned how DZ has played every single round, like, again, that would be all well and good for DarkZero if they were winning all the matches, because even if they're playing every single round, they're getting 3 points every single time. So whatever, that's going to put you as a dominant team, regardless of how close it is. But when you're exposing yourself to draws like the one you had against Rec, and yes, again, I know it was a fight back. You're still exposing yourself to that potential draw. Then the argument kind of falls flat on its face. So we'll see if DZ can put up that dominance later in the season, but at least right now, it looks like eUnited's going to keep in lockstep and might even still win this one. I mean, it's still 4-4. It's anyone's match. This round right here will be very important. Of course, it's going to be the one that puts you ahead of the curve, but that is the case with all of them, given that they can't break free of each other. So, I don't know. We'll find out. It's Teller's Archives, an interesting site to defend. Don't really see this one brought out very much. Usually the teams that are noted as being innovative are the ones who go to Tellers and Archives on Consulate.
A clear lack of innovation here from DarkZero. Then that must hurt them. You know that they love their innovation. But upstairs presence yet again from DarkZero as we see another mute Mozzie. You will hear us parrot this every single time because together they work so effectively. You've got 4 mute jammers, all of which can block off doorways. You've got 3 pests, all of which can block off doorways. That's potentially 7 avenues into rooms that you need to find an alternative route into because you can't get in through the standard way. That is massive, absolutely massive.
Speaking of, this is not the standard way. That is ballsy as they come. Forest just dropping in through the skylight, obviously getting a call that Spiral Stairs is clear for them to go. Still dangerous.
2 members of DarkZero stacked up over yellow. Callout is waiting at the bottom. Forest is at the top. You can see the pressure that's going to be applied from the Jackal tracks, and Hyper has no idea what's coming next. Callout is at the bottom. He's subbed out the G36 for the R4C. He's going to be engaging in much closer range. Echo has taken some damage as well from DarkZero, while Yeti and Grix are a little bit low. And that's been about it for the first 2 minutes or so of action. But there's the Castle, who does not get droned out. Eclipse inside of Visa will gun down Callout. DarkZero loses Eclipse in return from Forest, so a refrag as the Jackal heads down Spiral Stairs. They're going to need to continue to go from here. 30 seconds or so to work with. eUnited with an advantage. It's a Teller's Archives.
Forest coming down Spiral. He actually might be able to catch Houghton off guard, who's not watching Spiral right now. He will turn his sights to Spiral, though, and actually do a little bit of damage. Reed going for a plant, and it's elevated. C4 might not be able to get to him, but he comes off the plant regardless, looking through the hole that the C4 makes. Evil Eye doing a lot of damage before it's dispatched by Reed, but he's on low HP now. That's the planter, diffuser in hand. He's trying to go for the plant, but there's another Evil Eye, and it's doing more damage. Meanwhile, downstairs, the defender's holding firm. Mark's coming out in the site to deny the plant from below. The shotgun will do the work, and the time wins the rest. Sky's, though, actually the one to get those last 2 kills. Regardless, DarkZero will take the win, and they will push themselves into the lead.
Sky somehow manages to get upstairs. Was he upstairs the entire time, or was that a late rotate that we just didn't see?
Either way, he was in the right position for a Maestro. He managed to use those Evil Eyes to great effect.
Both of which were next to each other.
Yeah, both of them in the site on opposite ends of the bomb site, but it's a small room.
Yeah.
They were clearly just set up as a trap there. DZ wanted there to be a Teller's Take from EU, and they got their Teller's Take. Once they had that Teller's Take, well, the C4's from below, the shotgun's from below, the LMG from above, the Evil Eye is from in the site, and those players on eUnited could not have been more flustered.
once again, you can never count DarkZero out. So that was a good hold. And we note that Teller's Archives tends to be a site where when things go bad, they go real bad because as a defender, you can't really retake. Your best option is the Visa stairs, usually where there's an opening into the actual site. But once you get to the top of that, almost assured that someone's going to be watching it. It also, because of the way that the stairs slope and the roof goes above you, an easy-to-place air jab is there, and then you give your position away right away. So ultimately, for DarkZero, they managed to stave off defeat from eUnited. And if eUnited wins this round, then we will need all 12. We discussed this, Michael, that DarkZero always likes to keep lockstep with their opponents. It's going to be a garage defense, which DZ was successful on in their very first round of defense, round 7. They're going to go back downstairs, mute, no Mozzie. And the way that mute is applied on this site is that there's a couple different places of elevation where you can put a mute jammer, and it will actually block drones on the floor above it as well. Keep in mind that mute jammers are not flat. They have a circle around them, almost like a globe.
Sphere.
A sphere, if you'd like to call it. And they can affect and influence floors above and below depending on where they are. Usually not below because of where they're being placed, but in this case, there's pipes. There's the desk inside of staff area. There's the, the desk inside of small office as well, right next to it, of which will affect drones on that first floor. But like we said, the best cure for a mute jammer is going to be Reed on this Thatcher. If he doesn't die early, I suspect that all 3 of those EMPs will go off, and there shouldn't be much of an issue dealing with the mute on the board.
Yeti bucking from above. Pressure already being applied to the site. Once again, eUnited will not clear out the roamers. This is going to be the extent of the clear, the nade for the player in the bathroom, and it'll work. Wow, look at that. Eclipse is gone. I'm surprised he didn't predict that and maneuver to a position that would not have been exposed to the nade. But he didn't. Eclipse dies, and only 1 roamer to deal with now for eUnited. Forrest is actually trying to do that right now. He'll get an analyze off, but that's on the Mira in the site. It's Hyper who's on the roam. He knows that Jackal's in play now after it's just been called out for his team, so he's got to be wary of where he puts his footsteps. You can see that there are flank camps set up, Nomad air jab set up. eUnited just going with a really, we don't want to clear it all. We're just going to hit the site. We're going to give ourselves information and air jabs on the flanks, and we're going to just go through the garage panel. It could work for eUnited. It's just very dangerous. Oh, that's a nice angle down the mirror window. Really
good angle from Yeti here, and he's been instrumental on these takes so far for his team, and he did the same on defense as Jaeger. When Yeti starts heating up, his team tends to do quite well. Though I do think he made a record in Challenger League for the most kills. I think he got the record for it, and I think his team still lost. I can't remember. There goes a drone that was sitting on the hatch, so say goodbye to that drone. But Yeti manages to open it up. His bathroom control is theirs for eUnited. Hyper is still above, and this is something that DarkZero has been doing exceptionally well, which is have somebody on a floor that you have not droned out. Now, it hasn't necessarily always worked for eUnited, as they take out Skies and continue to grow their lead. Air jabs are in place, and Hyper might be in a bit of a trouble here. Down goes Hot and Cold as he frags Yeti, so you lose the buck for the mirror, and then the mirror goes down. Mint finishes off Reed, who is down by White Van, and now Callout will need to go for the plan as he hears the C4 ticking away. Crixer enters from the back. 1 on Mark. Cannot land the shots that he needs to. The smoke of Mint gets downed. No, he's on 1 HP. My goodness, he gets the kill, though. Diffuser goes off for eUnited, and the round is in their grips. Remember what we said about this particular site. Hyper tries to return, and it's Mint on 1 HP now. 1v2. DarkZero will almost assuredly lose this round. Forrest from above, he's got the openings. Callout going for blood. Doesn't see it. Mint with 1 HP manages to get it. No way Mint's able to pull this off. Forrest is above on the desk. C4 gets shot out. You're going to need all the sound you can get from Mint. They'll get the call that he's trying to stick the diffuser, and Forrest is there up above him. There goes the smoke to try and cover, but that's an easy kill for Forrest. eUnited will tie. 5-5. We're going to need all 12 rounds. What a surprise with DarkZero in play.
Now, we lost visual on Hyper for a while there, but I gotta say, what was he doing? It looked like he moved into piano to try and pressure from above, but that was the plant was already down, man. Like, that already happened. That ship has sailed. Try to, I don't know, pressure the post plant. Try to pressure the people allowing for the plant from yellow or something. I'm surprised that Hyper had no effect on that round, to be honest, and that might have changed the outcome. Again, the problem with this critique is that I didn't fully see what he was doing, but what I do know is that he didn't accomplish anything from his roam. So, unfortunate for him, we saw a pretty close round there, to be honest, all things considered. And because of that, DarkZero will try the bottom floor once again. What we do know is DarkZero still will have played every single potential round in Pro League. There has not been one match where DarkZero has let a round not get played.
Yeah.
It's a weird record to keep.
Not a good record either.
No. I mean, it's not necessarily bad, but it's just so close to bad. You know what I mean? It's close to greatness, it's close to being pretty bad. It could go either way, and that's really the struggle of it.
10 seconds to
now, it'll be, again, like I said, basement again.
5 seconds remaining.
You know, I could see why they would want to go here again. They almost had this. It's an interesting placement from the Evil Eye for Skies. He'll put it on, actually right next to the drone hole, above the garage. Which is pretty easily dispatched. Where's the other one going, I wonder? There's a lot of spots you can put those Evil Eyes in the garage to be used really effectively. Don't see it. Oh no, it's the one. It's the one on the floor in garage. It's a standard one next to the white van. Yes.
Yep.
That is the main Evil Eye in garage. If you guys didn't know, you put that there so you can deny the plant at the front of white. Also, you can zap people outside of garage after the panel gets opened up. There goes Yeti in the bathroom hallway. Eclipse with a little bit more aggro this time, and he is going to get rid of probably the most important operator in this round for eUnited, and one of the most important players. Yeti, as you said last round, and I agree, has been one of the most instrumental players throughout this match for eUnited.
The only footprint that you're going to get is the player that's inside of bathroom. I mean, that's not really the target that you want. You assume that somebody is still playing, and there is Forrest just very slowly heads towards the bottom of yellow stairs. Usually you would need the buck to push out the player inside a bathroom, and that's what Yeti did exceptionally before in the round that we just watched. There was a frag grenade that got tossed over top, and he said goodbye to Eclipse. Not the case this time. And just the fact that he's going to stay in there is going to be huge. In a pinch, you've got this secondary shotgun, but does Forrest know that there's still a mute that's playing inside a bathroom? Grixer might know if there's an air jab down there. Might not be able to get out of that bathroom so safely. But both Forrest and Grixer are aware that someone is nearby. There goes the hatch inside a main lobby. You can drop down if you're eUnited. The loss of frag grenades and that soft destruction is really going to hurt, especially inside a piano.
Yeah, Yeti managed to get the player in bathroom last round. He managed to open up above every one of the anchors last round. He put pressure on the mirror windows. He did so very much, and he's just not here. And that's rough. That's really rough for United. Not only because he's not there, but because Jackal has to deviate from his flank watching plan to now open up from above. Luckily, there are breach charges on Grixer. That's actually pretty good.
In a pinch, they and that ITA, that secondary shotgun that Forrest has, can work, but not always ideal. You got to try to take care of the ADSs because you're going to see some smokes go off from Forrest. So it will be a smoke execute. We don't see these all that often, especially on Consulate. Sometimes up top, sometimes on main lobby.
It's only 30 seconds and lots of Evil Eyes and smoke still in play. I don't know if this is going to work for United.
Yeah, so there goes the very first smoke. Reed will head on in. He doesn't hold the diffuser, Callout does, but those Evil Eye cams can see through the smoke, and they're going to do quite a bit of damage. Speaking of damage being done from Forrest, Reed is so low, he'll look through the breach hole just in towards staff area. He gets a kill on the hot and cold. Forrest gets one of his own, and DarkZero now in trouble. Sky's lighting up the player from eUnited by pipes.
Oh.
Down to Reed. But in comes Callout. This is an absolute clown fiesta, and Callout will have to go for the plant, but he's only one of the two remaining members of DarkZero. Need to find him. It'll be match point for DZ. That was a mess and a half for both of those teams.
Yeah, complete mess. That's the only way to describe it. It was just United going, we don't have anything going for us. Let's rush in through garage. And then DarkZero had like very little potency on the hold. eUnited got super deep, and then they started to realize, wait a minute, we didn't get torn apart on our initial entry. We can frag out. And then United starts racking up kills. Then DarkZero has a couple miracle plays, Skies in particular, Eclipse as well, both of them really standing up and, you know, muscling out United when it really mattered. So good job to them. But just such a weird round overall, and from both teams, really. Archives Teller's the next site. So we've seen Teller's twice now from DarkZero.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs.
Match point for DZ. And again, you know, it's all well and good. They secure 1 round, or sorry, 1 point at the minimum. But there's still potential for United to win this. And and take this to a draw, and that's not comfortable for DZ. But at least they haven't lost yet. DZ hasn't lost yet this season. That's it. That's a good record to hold too. As long as you're getting a point every play day, you're actually putting yourself pretty far ahead of everyone else. Like mathematically, DZ's in a good spot, even if they lose here.
I feel like we're setting the expectations really low for a team like DZ.
5 seconds.
Well, I don't know if I think it's more like they're playing the numbers game.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, and they're less about we have to win. Again, as long as you're getting 1 point per day, technically speaking, you are putting yourself very far ahead of everyone else. If you can, I mean, it's not ideal, but you're still close to the win. I know. I feel like maybe.
I feel like you're excusing DZ here. I'm very much a glass half empty guy with the way that DarkZero has played. You cannot be one of the best teams at NA and just squeak by every other team like that. To me, it does not inspire much confidence. If you're playing teams that are 8th, 7th, 6th in terms of skill, and you're barely beating them, that's a problem.
See, in my head, Parker, you're absolutely right. It's just, again, it's the I'm trying to play devil's advocate here. That's it.
That's fair.
And this is another really important thing. In the system that we have for Pro League, it is a workable formula. The one that we're seeing DZ put out.
Workable formula for gaining points. Yeah.
Yes, for Pro League exclusively. I'm not talking about greater competition in Siege. Anyway, we did actually gloss over how we saw one player on eUnited dispatch. So that's a really good start for DZ. And it might mean they get the full 3 points. Skies is being hunted upstairs because eUnited knows how important he is to kill, but he's fallen back through, I believe, the yellow stairs all the way to the basement. So Skies remaining elusive, and eUnited going to continue to have to hunt him or decide to hit the site. And if they hit the site, they have to worry about those evil eyes.
Set of smokes from eUnited is gone as well. They will have no other operator that can shoulder that weight, so...
Oh, wow, how does he win that?
That's another from Eclipse. My, that was a nice shot onto Grixer, and eUnited's chances of winning this might have just evaporated as we saw Grixer evaporate in front of our eyes. That's a beautiful shot from Callout, though. Was that blind through the barricade? That is a nice one.
Miss every shot you don't take. And oh, what an angle from Yeti! He's been known for his soft destruction in angles through this match, and he's going to add to his, I guess, prestige, as that is a really beautiful shot.
His reputation grows by the minute.
Yes.
Those evil eye cams that we saw that were so successful on the Teller's site upstairs will once again be taken out. But below, Hot and Cold answers back. He removes Callout from action. Yeti's still up top. They're trying to hunt down Skies, who's playing in console office miles away from the site. Are they going to be able to get him, though? He looks the wrong way. Skies picks up another kill, 2 for him. And Reed, the body shot machine Adams, will have nothing. He vaults on in, and it's a 7-5 victory for DarkZero. This is the reverse of Sisu from last season, where they were losing 5-7 every single time. But those are 3 big points for DarkZero. They'll vault over top of TSM by 1 point. All TSM needs to do is get a draw. And, well, now we gain the lead.
Yeah, that was that was a really big match for eUnited and DZ alike. Yes, DarkZero got all 3 points, but boy, was that a close one. Yeti being a really standout player in that match, of course, Forrest as well. In general, I would say, again, since it could have gone either way, I don't know, I'm kind of surprised that we still have DZ not dropping a single round in Pro League. And by dropping a single round, what I mean is they haven't...
Dropping a match.
I mean they haven't let a round slip by. Every single round is getting played. I'm not sure how else to really put that record, but it's an odd record. Again, it's really weird to keep that.
We can ask them.
All right, I guess we'll talk to them.
I'll ask them. And
when we get to the interview. Yeah.
With them. Which I'm assuming is going to be Hot and Cold?
Probably.
It used to be Nyx, but they've sent Nyx over to do interview duty on Reciprocity.
Yeah, he's talking for another team now.
If Reciprocity ever wins and we actually get to talk to them this season, of course.
Oh.
I mean, that wasn't even intended as shade. That was just like they've been losing.
Oh.
I think Fox would still do it anyway, but...
Probably
no,
Fox.
I mean, DarkZero, they tied EU on the very first half, then they ended up winning 4-2 in the second. It was literally this close. This close was how much it came to a possible draw, though that was a very... what was it? It was a 4-VO at the end of that. They still had 4 players alive at the tail end of the very
4v1
last round. Yeah.
Yeah, 4v0 at the end. Yeah. So the big thing, I mean, the last round, if we want to analyze it, was Sky's roaming. That was huge. He did a lot of work there.
Maestro roaming.
Yeah, the reason why it makes sense is because he has the Evil Eyes on site. So he has a heavy site presence, and then he can also roam. He's doing it in a way where he's not supposed to engage people because he can affect the round just by playing on his thing.
Especially if they took care of it as eUnited did. I think they took down at least one of the Maestro games. They might have gotten both. But we have the interview ready, so we'll say hello to DarkZero. We'll bring them up on your screen here. Hello, Hot and Cold. How are you doing, my friend?
Doing all right, Parker. How are you?
I like the beard a lot. I'm doing okay.
Thank you. I like the baldness.
You don't need to let me, but thank you. That's fine. So, first and foremost, congratulations on your matchup today against eUnited. The one thing that we were talking about actually quite a lot so far is through 4 play days, you have now played 48 rounds of Rainbow Six out of a possible 48 rounds. Now, obviously, this is not intentional. So, why do you think your team has such a difficulty being able to establish a stronger performance against some of these teams over the last 3 to 4 weeks?
I think a big issue right now is just we're still trying to mesh as a team. Like, you know, our team and like, you know, Alex's team or Sky's or Tyler's, they're like completely different environments. So we're still trying to mesh and figure out that middle ground. I think, you know, points are points and we're still getting them. So I think we're doing all right now.
Yeah, you're only 2 points off of a perfect 12 points. And I mean, it wasn't intended to be a disparaging remark towards your team, more of just an observation that, you know, you guys last season were, I think, indisputably the best team in NA, and you've still not been able to break away from all of your opponents. Now, looking towards this matchup against eUnited, you saw plenty of footage from them on Consulate against TSM in week number 2. Did you anticipate that you were going to be going to Consulate this time, or did you have other maps that you thought that they were going to pick?
Yeah, we knew that they really wanted Consulate. I think that's like one of their better maps. So we knew we were probably better at it. So we were fine with, you know, going there.
What changes did you see from them in particular that you might not have been anticipating given the way that they played against TSM?
I think us banning Gridlock kind of hurt them. They didn't really know what to bring. Like, they didn't have smokes, I think, for most of the attack rounds. I think they just started bringing Jackal towards the end. So I think that kind of like threw them off a little bit. But other than that, I think they stayed like pretty similar, to TSM.
Words have been, this week has been so strange for casters and players alike with being able to speak, so I definitely feel you on that one. And last question, it actually involves our seeding match that we just saw. How pumped are you to be in basically the same matchup and same bracket that you were in for the Raleigh Major? Yeah,
it's literally the same bracket without 4s, I think. We just got a different... Who did we get instead?
You got a different Russian team. You got Empire in there.
Yep, we got Empire. It's basically the same thing, you know, a little better probably.
How are you?
I don't know.
How are you feeling
after
about
today.
it? How are you feeling about it?
I'm feeling pumped. You know, it's a lot of our first invites. I think, you know, mine, Mints, and Hypers. It's all our first invites, so we're pumped. You know, that's a heck of a group for us. I think, you know, it's all strong teams. Anyone could take it.
It's wild that you and Mint have been around for so long, and I don't mean this to sound rude, but I did not even occur to me that this was your first invite. That's wild.
Yeah, it's pretty sad.
I mean, you've been there. We've exchanged many hugs, but just as a spectator. So, but no, I am excited to see what you guys are able to do. That is a hell of a group. I think Group A is the group of death. I apologize, but it's adversity is just a what? It's a 9-letter word. 8-letter
what's
word?
The group? What's the Group A?
Group A is your group. It's FaZe Fnatic.
Well, thank you.
FaZe Fnatic Empire. I think it's the group of death. You know, it's the group of death because DZ's in it. Just don't say that to CHGG.
All right, I won't tell him. We didn't get to watch the group draw because we were warming up, so I didn't even know it. I didn't know what group, like, letter we were.
Yeah, you guys are group A. You were the 5th selected team, I think, which is why you're second underneath Empire. So
I don't know how they did the seedings, but how, like, I didn't know us and Empire could be in the same group.
It was like Empire got first overall because they got the very first spot for Raleigh, and then the invited team was like bottom of D, and then the rest were like, they were designed by like the teams that made it, like the teams that finished first overall in their regions and then went to Tokonami, or like the top 4 teams at Tokonami, and then it was like the bottom 4 teams at Tokonami, and then it was like the teams that won like DreamHack versus the teams that won like the qualifiers or won DreamHack, OGA, whatever. I don't know. I wasn't doing it, so I wasn't.
Yeah, sorry, I turned this into me interviewing you.
Do you have any more questions for me, by the way?
How you feeling? You know?
Yeah, I feel good, man. I feel really good.
That's great. I'm happy for you.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate getting to talk to you. Anything to say at the end of this interview?
Just wanted to say a big thanks to all of our fans and my family. Love you guys, and yeah, that's it.
Well, take care of yourself. Hopefully we'll see you again next week.
Yep. Later, Parker.
See you, Matthew.